doing. I'll just run through the chat quickly. So we've got Lee and Lenore, LL Diamond Painting, takes out the trash, recycles, puts out fish and chips, finger foods and snacks, places soft drink and English tea on the table, puts Nutella along with white dark milk chocolate fountains, pretzels, marshmallows, and fruits out for everyone. Welcome to Sparkly Diamonds. Help yourself. Come on in, grab a snack, and hit that like button and away to your seat. Thank you, Lee, for that. I love that. We've got hello there, Kerry Lynn Leonard. And you've got Michelle, Helen. We've got Crafting Curry, hello. And the amazing Mia is in here. Hello, Mia. We've got Trisha Richard and Francis Pickett. Hello again. That's everyone caught up. How is everyone doing? My phone just vibrating. 1 second. It would help. I've put my guest as Elisa Menck. It would help if I actually send her the StreamYard link. That would really be helpful. So she will be on our way soon. Eve should be joining us as well tonight. So that'll be good fun. Hopefully I can set myself up in a better area next time. So there's not this massive light here. Don't use that arm. So I've been struggling this week to diamond paint. I've done what? About 2 sections this week. Hello, Marie. I seem to have got like tennis elbow, which is a repetitive strain. So every time I straighten, bend, twist my arm, or try and grab anything, my arm really, really hurts. So I've put some deep heat on it, and that seems to be helping right now. I was just editing my spreadsheet for the prize draw, so I've not actually got myself a cup of tea or anything. And that's a very cold coffee. And we have Eve. Hello, Eve.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I forgot to send Elisa my link, so she is on her way. And we've got Melanie. How are you doing, Melanie? How are you doing, Eve? You all right?
Yes, I think I'm causing some sound issues, so let me see if I can fix that. How's the sound?
It sounds fine.
Okay, great. Thought I had a little bit of an echo there.
So, what have you been up to then, Eve, this week? It's been busy, I take it.
Yes, it has been a very busy week. I've got work, and Kathy had her dental surgery. She's doing just great. She's back in the resin works, pouring trays again. So things are doing very well. I was busy with, working on this event, getting some more sponsors. So yeah, and I'm working on Secret Temple and definitely making some progress. So it's been a busy and exciting week.
And also hello to Kat C in the chat, Stacey I. Hello, welcome in. And Michelle C as well. Oh. Yes, and Sarah and Creations. So Sarah Ann, I'm sure everyone knows who Sarah Ann Creations is. If you don't, Sarah Ann makes some amazing event bags. She made ones for Jules and Chills last year. She made ones for Oz and Og, which were fantastic. And Sarah Ann is making some for our event. So hopefully I can order one of those. And I want to welcome in our special guest, Elisa. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
I'm so sorry for not sending you that link. I did mean to send it to you earlier on in the week as soon as I made the thumbnail.
No worries. And I was having some technical difficulties. I never used my computer. I think this is the first time using it in probably 6 months. So it was still thought it was December of 24. So I had to, reset the time on my computer before it would let me join the link. So that's what took me so long getting in. But hello, Adam. Hello, Eve.
Good to see you. And I see the Susharelli is there.
She is I must make myself known. She is I need to be in the middle of everything. Of course, because she's chaos. So that's what she does. She makes her presence known. So now she's going to sit here in the middle of everything and just stare at us. She's the chaos demon.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. She's beautiful. She's a turd, but she's beautiful. Yes, I am still in the RV, as you can see behind me. That's why I don't have a bunch of lights on. There is the kitchen. There is my dining room, i.e. my diamond painting space, and the bedroom in the very back that you can see back there. And I am in the very front with the driver's seat and the passenger seat right there.
So can I ask why you're in an RV then?
So I just moved from California to Florida, and I had to sell my California house before I could buy a house here in Florida. And it was either live in a hotel for however many months or live in one of my parents' second RV. So I was like, with the cats, I would much rather be in the RV where they can run around and do whatever they want and cause chaos rather than trying to be in a hotel and worry about, well, what am I going to do when I'm at work during the day and housekeeping if they're coming in, and then I have to worry about, well, are the cats going to get out and all of that of being in a hotel, especially if I've been in the RV since November, basically since November. So yes, that's basically been what it is. Yeah, no, I was not impacted by the wildfires. Those were over towards the LA area, and the house that I just sold was about 2.5 or 3 hours east of the wildfires. And I do still have my house in Hawaii. That's my retirement house. So that's where I plan on going back to when I get out of the military. So, yes.
So you have got an amazing event on, haven't you?
Yes, I'm. This is the second year for it. This is the my Lunar New Year DP along. This is the second year that we've done it. And I've been super slacking on advertising it and pushing it out because I've been so busy with the move, and I just started house hunting this past week or so. So I haven't been pushing it out and advertising it nearly as much as I should have because it's been a crazy last couple months for me. But yes, this is the Lunar New Year DP along. Last year it ran only in February because the Lunar New Year was, I think, February 7th or February 9th. I can't remember. But this year the Lunar New Year is January 29th. So I moved the event up so it runs January 15th through the entire month of February. So it's a little bit longer this year. It's 6 weeks this year instead of the 4 weeks that it was last year. But it's basically anything on any Asian based canvas, which is why it flows so well with your event. Any Asian themed canvas or any zodiac animals. So any of the Chinese zodiac animals, any 12 animals will qualify for the event. And it's basically to celebrate anything like for the Lunar New Year. And that's part of it is because just I love anything Asian related. And that was something that looking through all of the different events, I was like, we don't have anything. When I started it last year, I realized we didn't have anything that really celebrated like anything really Asian related, that like nobody had even done like any of the Yume events that are going on now. None of those were really going on last year when I started this event, and there was nothing really celebrating anything like Asian culture wise, which I was like, I need it. I needed something. Like anybody who knows me knows how much I love Asian culture, knows how much I love Asia in general, particularly Southeast Asia. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and do this event. So that's when I went ahead and started it last year, had an absolute blast with everybody, and doing it again this year. So yes.
Nice. So you say you love everything Asia. Is that from your background or?
So I've always loved, even before I lived in Japan, I've loved everything Asian. Like I've been at like so what's kind of funny is like K-pop has become like super popular in like the last like 5 to 7 years, but I've been a huge K-pop fan since probably like 2007. So before K-pop was popular, I was listening to K-pop. So that's been something that I've always loved is like the Asian music. I've watched like Korean dramas and read mangas and watched animes and done all of that since as long as I can remember. I think my brother introduced me to mangas and animes because he's like a huge like anime nerds. He introduced me to all of that like way back probably in the early 2000s when we were both still in high school. He had introduced me to like mangas and animes when it was really hard to find anything. So that's what kind of like initially stirred my fascination with all of that. And then from there, it just like expounded and increased. I was actually, so yeah, it started with all of that. I was actually in the process of learning Korean before I moved to Japan. So then, of course, I was like, well, I'm going to pause my Korean learning and start learning Japanese. But then it was like switching my brain from the one to the other. It was challenging because then I was living in Japan at the time because I lived in Okinawa, Japan for 2 years. And I loved everything about it. I've been trying, that was from 2014 to 2016 that I lived in Okinawa. Yeah, so that was Okinawa, Japan. And I've been trying to get back to Japan, get stationed back in Japan again ever since. So it's been, the last 9 years I've been trying to get back to Japan, and it just hasn't worked out for me to get back there. So that's been something I've been trying to do. Hopefully, in the next few years, I can get back to Japan again and live there again. Unfortunately, this is for Navy in Korea, so I won't be able to get stationed in Korea. But Japan, we have a lot. We have a lot in Japan. That's something that I've been trying to do. So I've always loved it. So.
Nice. Yeah. So with your event, it's not on Facebook, is it? It's just on YouTube, isn't it?
So it's primarily on YouTube and Instagram. I usually because I work full time and I'm going to school. I was like, I don't have the bandwidth to do Facebook as well. So it's and then we also on the Crafters Den Discord. There is we do have a channel for the event on the Crafters Den Discord. So that would be like kind of like a Facebook group where you can get like the real time immediate feedback from me on the Crafters Den Discord channel because we created like a channel directly for the event there because that's I don't do Facebook so much, but I'm pretty much always in Discord. So it's basically primarily on YouTube and Instagram. And then for the members that are participating that happen to also be in the Crafters Den Discord, then you have the ability to chat on a regular basis about the event and post like whip updates and everything there as well.
Crafters Den. I think I've got that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for now. I'm gonna find that for myself because I am not on that.
I have got it. If I do that, share invites.
Well, While you're looking at that, Adam, I'm going to go to the chat, and we've got a couple things here. A couple questions were answered. Kat, Sparkle Dust and Diamonds is asking you, Alyssa, if you are still active, and I'm assuming that is active military.
Yes, I am still active.
Yeah, Kat says her brother was stationed in Okinawa when he was a Marine in 1989.
Man, that's a hot minute ago, but yes, I love Okinawa, and yeah, we definitely have a lot of Marines out there. But that's like I love it there. It's an interesting fact that Okinawa is only like less than 1% of the land mass of Japan, yet it has over 75%. It has over 75% of the US's military bases in Japan are located in Okinawa, yet it makes up less than 1% of Japan's overall land mass. So it's a very interesting statistic if you think about it.
I think militarily, historically, Okinawa was a major historical site for World War II for the U.S.
Yeah, the Battle of Okinawa. So when I did my master's degree, I did a master's degree for fun back in 2016, and I did it on military studies with a concentration in strategic leadership. And that was I started it while I was in Okinawa. So I always find it fascinating. If I'm in an area, then I like to actually learn more about that area that I'm in. So most of my papers that I wrote, I actually did them on and really researched the Battle of Okinawa and the Pacific War. So the Pacific side of World War II, which is typically referred to. I know, Kat. I am definitely a nerd. I did a master's for fun. Yes. Well, I have a doctorate, so I was like, but I didn't have a master's, and I really wanted that master's, so I did the master's degree for fun. But so I did multiple papers on the Battle of Okinawa and definitely researched it. But it was one of those things that was really fascinating because I was living in Okinawa. So I'm reading about places and things that were going on that were areas that I had actually visited. So and I was actually there during if you guys ever watched the movie Hacksaw Ridge, that movie that came out, it actually came out while I was in Okinawa. So, which was really, really that was such an experience to watch that movie where, I actually watched it. The base that I watched it on the movie theater, on the base I watched it on was basically a stone's throw away from the ridge which they exaggerated the size of the ridge in the movie, of course, to make it more dramatic.
Yeah.
But I was watching it basically a stone's throw away from where the actual battle took place. So it's you're watching it and you're and you know the details of what actually went on. It was very much made the experience so much more I don't know. It was wow, this is real.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Battle of Okinawa has always been a very strategic location for us, for the U.S. And the Battle of Okinawa was very pivotal for our success in the whole Allied success for winning the war in the Pacific, and turning the whole tide of. It was very, very successful because that was actually what. The loss of life during the Battle of Okinawa was actually what made the U.S. decide to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That was actually what made that decision, was the loss of life during the Battle of Okinawa. And that's what then led to ultimately how we ended up winning the war. At least in the war in the Pacific. So it's a very interesting how much life was lost. It was over 200,000 lives were lost in the Battle of Okinawa. And it's something that most people don't realize how the loss of life that happened on this tiny island in, the middle of the Pacific. It's actually closer to China than it is to mainland Japan. It's a completely different culture than mainland Japan. Okinawans are not Japanese. It's two different cultures. It's very, very different. It's two different cultures. And it didn't even become a part of the Japanese Empire until like the 1870s is when Okinawa and the Ryukyu Islands became a part of the Japanese culture or the Japanese kingdom.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
I never knew that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could listen to you talk about this kind of
Sorry,
history.
it's like as I go into like this big long history lesson, we're here for diamond painting,
No.
and I go into like this big long history lesson on the Battle of
No,
Okinawa and
That's great.
Japan and the war, the World War II and all of this.
No, I find it fascinating, and I love the perspective, looking back at different historical events from the people that we either have victory over or now in this more modern age, people we've lost to. You know, the experience of the Vietnam War from the perspective of the Vietnamese is horrific. Horrific. It's fascinating, but it is horrific.
Yes.
Yeah, and going back to even the Vietnamese with the French occupation and all the different occupying forces that have come into places. I'm going to stay away from my opinions on colonization and all that in this particular venue because it is about diamond painting. But I've learned a lot because one of my big reasons for my interest in all this Asian art, diamond painting art, came from my love of Asian culture, and I learned about most of it through historical fiction because that became my favorite genre of literature. Any fictional books that I read or listened to is Asian culture or historical fiction through the voice of women, and that's what's been the most has got me the most involved in learning and love of the culture. Yeah. So what can you tell us? What can you tell us about your event? Is there anything else? What's happening? Where are things at now? What are the time frames, the rules? People always want to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I tend to be pretty lax. We kicked it off on Wednesdays when we kicked it off. I typically will do a very like a specific video for like where I go into something related to the Lunar New Year, some kind of cultural background related to the Lunar New Year on my video that I do on Wednesdays. And then on Saturdays during my whip and chat is when I'll do like my giveaways during my whip and chats on Saturdays. The event will run from the 15th of January through the end of February. So it'll be 6 weeks this year. I don't require a new start because we all have so many whips and, many people have multiple whips. Some people are like the one at a time diamond painters. I used to be that way. But many of us have multiple whips. So I don't require a new start to be eligible for the grand prize. That I basically, you want to be eligible for the grand prize. I do require it to be a legally licensed kit and to have roughly a 30 by 40 section completed on it. If you have a little bit less and you're at like a 30 by 30, that's fine. I'm not super picky and I'm like not going to nitpick and be like, hey, you have to have this much of your canvas done. But roughly that 30 by 30, 40 size. We're going to have 2 grand prizes. One of them is going to be Super Dragon, which is the beautiful, amazing canvas from Enabler's Outpost. It is a stunning, we did that as a grand prize last year. It is stunning. And this year it will be the last year it was the older version of the kit, which I have completed, and this year it is going to be the upgraded newer version, which is the primarily hand charted version that they have now. And I can tell you, having done a comparison between one of their previous kits where I kind of compared like the older style versus their upgraded hand charted style, which does still have some computer charting. It is stunning seeing that difference, and I can't wait to see what Super Dragon looks like with this upgraded hand charting style to it. Oh, it looks so stunning. And then the other grand prize is going to be the Lunar New Year canvas from Jaded Gem Shop. That is going to be the other grand prize.
Oh,
the green one that the Jaded Gem Shop Collective created for it. for the Lunar New Year. So that's going to be the other grand prize. So there are 2 grand prizes, and since they are from small shops that specialize in legally licensed artwork, to honor that, that's why I require that to be eligible for the grand prize, you do have a legally licensed kit. But if you want to participate in the weekly giveaways, then I do not require you to have. I prefer legally licensed for for anything, but not everybody can afford that. So that's why I say for the grand prize, legally licensed. But if you don't have that and you still want to participate, that's completely fine. Lucky Manakaneko does qualify because it's very much Asian to have Lucky Manakaneko. So yes, normally cats don't qualify, but if it's an Asian cat or an Asian image such as Lucky Manakaneko, then yes, that does qualify. So yes,
I've got a black cat in mine, which is called Namur. I don't think that would count.
Yeah, I was trying to. I like what? It's been a while since I've seen Cauldron of Myrrh.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah, the Cauldron of Myrrh. That one does not qualify.
No, that's all right. I haven't got my Art Dot Panda, so that's my secondary kit.
And then +2. I think you're the one that asked. So I do have a Google form. I don't require you to submit a start photo for the Google form. You can tag me in Instagram, or you can, that's usually one of the easiest ways, or you can shoot me a message if you want to send me your start photo. But since I don't require a new start, I'm not super picky on that. You can just send me but you have to fill out the Google form. I have a Google form that you have to fill out, and I have that in my any Lunar New Year, basically in any of my diamond painting or like my YouTube videos. I have that in the description. And then I also have, I don't think I've linked it on my Instagram, because you have to do that from mobile, and I have that on my iPad, not on my mobile. So I need to go to, I will have that linked on my, let me go do that. I will have the Google form linked in my Instagram profile as well, for anybody that wants to enter for that. And yes, double dipping is completely encouraged to double dip any and all events.
You know, the first thing we thought of when we had the, oh, go ahead, Elisa.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
So the very first thing we thought of when we decided on this event was to make sure we reached out to you, because we didn't want to step on anybody's toes. We're all about supporting and encouraging all creators, and we wanted to make sure that we could include you with us, because part of this, I participated in this event a year ago. This event that we're doing right now, the Asian event, was inspired by I had an idea. I just wanted to do all Asian kits for a year, and the next thing you knew, we were having an event, and I don't even have a channel. So it kind of just happened. And then I was like, we have to reach out to Elisa and see if she would like to do this with us, and then found out you had so much going on, and we wanted to make sure to support your event and bring some more people to your event. So this is great that we have this collaboration going on, for sure.
Definitely, yes. If I wasn't like just still in this like moving phase of everything, then I totally would have been on board to jump in with you guys, but I'm still in that like craziness of moving. So I'm updating the Lunar New Year entry link to my Instagram profile for anybody to make it easy for people in both ways. New Year 25. Sorry, I don't do well multitasking. Entry form.
We've got Chaotic Crafting with V's joined. Hello, Crafting with V. So if you, obviously you were talking earlier, so I don't want to interrupt you, so that's why I posted the comments in the chat rather than speaking. So that was to Muttnuts and Mary. I don't want you to feel like I had missed you at all.
There we go.
Yes, and we're again in the chat encouraging people you can double quadrupled. I think I'm quadrupled. I'm not because I'm hosting this. I'm also participating, but not for prizes. But I think I'm like quadruple dipping because I'm doing this event, I'm doing Ticket to Ride, and I'm doing Blinging in the New Year all at once. And I've been involved in the Mary Morales event. So really, there's 5.
Oof,
And
so busy.
it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know if I will do that again. It is a
That
lot.
sounds like what I did last year. Last year I participated in like every single event there was. And this year I don't know that I'm the only other event I'm participating in right now. It's is like the wrap up a whip event because I'm using my canvas I'm doing right now for this event, which I actually kitted up last year. I kitted up last year for my event and didn't touch it. I kitted up in February and didn't touch it until August. That's when I started it. So it was sat there kitted up for 6 months, which I don't do that. I don't kit things up and let them sit. That's not how I work. So yeah, it's and then I did like 2 sections between August and like October. And then basically that's literally it, 2 sections. But granted, my sections are massive. I don't do small sections on canvases. So those 2 sections were like I divided the canvas into 10 sections. So I did 2 of those 10 sections. And then it didn't touch it. And then now I've finished an additional what 4 sections have been completed now. So I've got 3.5 sections left to go on that canvas.
And you're doing all this and managing an event, and the prizes and things for the giveaways are coming in, and living your life and serving us. By the way, other people have said it. I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Serving our country from an RV in Florida. While house hunting.
Yes. Like I did not touch a diamond painting from Monday until I filmed my whip and chat on Friday night because I was house hunting, and I looked at over 40 houses between Monday and Thursday night. It was just like I was so exhausted when I would get home because I'd go straight from work. I'd get up in the morning, go to work. I'd leave work a little bit early. Once I was done seeing patients, I would leave work and I would go straight to house hunting. And I'd look at houses, and then I'd get back from looking at houses, and I would go through and I would do like the review of the houses that I looked at. I would call my mom and we'd go, and I'd send her all the links and the photos that I looked at. And I'd say, okay, we're going to look at all of these houses and see what her thoughts, if they lined up with my thoughts on the houses. Cause I mean, that's what moms are for. Right. So we'd go over everything and kind of like say, okay, yays and nays of everything, to try to wheedle this list of houses that I looked at, which was already wheedled down from all of the listings that I had gotten. To try to do all of this. Yeah. So by the time that would take like 2 hours. So by the time I'd finish all of that, I'm just like, my brain would be so fried. I'd be so exhausted. And it would be like, oh my goodness, I have no energy to do anything else. And it was exhausting. Oh, it was a lot.
I felt similar to you on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, if it's not already bad enough that we've chosen to do an event, this event is all year. Mm-hmm. I'm not the best on laptops, but I'm making like spreadsheets, because when we started it, me and Eve were like, okay, we won't do sponsors. We'll just do it as like a nice, easygoing thing. We're not even a full month for our event, and the sponsors just keep rolling in. So I've now got a spreadsheet with everyone's name, how much they're sponsoring with, what they are. I was like, there's so much. And I would say I need to put the discount codes up, so that will be going up soon. So if people are visiting our sponsors, they can use their discount codes. As well as trying to do all my diamond painting and general kitchen work that I do, because I'm a kitchen manager at school. I decided that on Wednesdays I am going to stay behind after work and run a diamond art club for the children.
I love that.
It went off brilliantly, and we had 30 children attend.
That's awesome.
So wow.
It's a lot, but it's awesome.
30. How old are these children, Adam?
These children are from age 4 up to age 11.
Wow.
Little children. Wow.
Like, I think we had five. I think that between 4 and 5 is reception. So yeah, between like 4 to 5-year-olds, a couple in the middle, a couple of sort of like 8-year-olds, and then we had. I know we only had two 11-year-olds, but it was fun. So we got them a load of went on. I think it was Timu. We just got them their little canvases, and it was fun to just see them do an after-school club that wasn't sports related. It wasn't academic in a way. It was just something a bit of fun for them. But the 2 year sixes, they help out a lot. They help out at lunchtime to give up their break to help out with the younger children, and they helped out a lot in that first session. So what I've done is I've gone through my stash. I have found a fox and a cat kit from Diamond Painting Fanatics, which are both 40 by 50, and I'm giving them those so they actually have an actual diamond painting kit that they can come away with at the end.
That's fantastic.
It's going to be
More
good.
power to you. It's like I worked with kids when I was in Okinawa. I worked in the schools, and it takes a special person to have the patience, wherewithal to work with kids, and that's not me. Give me my Marines and I'm golden, but kids, no, not me.
It looks like we might be starting almost like a little mini diamond painting club. We just hired 3 new people on my program. I work in mental health or educators and peer support professionals. And we hired 2 new trainers and a full-time administrative assistant. One of them already diamond paints, and there was a woman and a man hired. The man that was hired wants to learn, and the admin is already all about it. She's asking me, like, where do you get stuff? And bring something in. So we're going to actually do a team building exercise. We're going to bring mini dazzlers or paint gem and give everybody their own little kit and have them kit up and do it. So we'll do a little team building exercise. So I think it'll be fun. It's not 30 children, though. I can't even imagine.
That is super fun.
Yeah. Alyssa, I just have a quick question. I've been meaning to ask you this since last year. I hear a little bit of an accent that to me sounds like
Canada,
Philly, a little Canada, but there's also a little Baltimore, Philadelphia, South Jersey in there. So I'm
originally from Michigan, which is where you hear the Canadian. Mostly, I get it mostly when I say my about. That's usually what kicks it in. But then there's always that weirdness because my parents have lived in Kentucky for 10 years. So certain things that I say, I'll get a little bit of some of that Kentucky drawl of living in rural Kentucky for a little bit. But then of course, I'm in the military, so I've lived a little bit of everywhere. Mostly I've lived in the Pacific region. I like to say that this is I'm in Florida now, so I'm East Coast, but my last 12 years have been floating around the Pacific Ocean in some way, shape, or form. With every other duty station, I've jumped back to Southern California, but it's been San Diego and then Japan with a stint in Afghanistan, and then back to Japan, and then I went back to San Diego, and then I went to Hawaii, and I spent a number of years in Hawaii, and I've noticed that there's certain words that I picked up some of the
you left Hawaii?
What was that?
You left Hawaii?
I had no choice. If it had been up to me, I would never leave Hawaii. That's why I bought my house there. That's my retirement house. That's where I'm going back when I retire. Yeah. That is the first place that I've lived as an adult that actually felt like home to me. And I it was because I visited Hawaii for the first time back when I was 12. And I visited a number of times after that. And my brother lived out there before I got there. He'd been there because my brother's also in the Navy too. So he was stationed out there for a few years before I was. So I would go out and visit him and everything beforehand. And that's something that like Hawaii is the first place that I've lived that has actually felt like home to me. So going out to Hawaii, I've noticed there's a certain things that I'll say that will have a little bit where I'll catch myself getting some of like the local pronunciation, some of like the Hawaiian pronunciation for certain words, which is a little bit of a different pronunciation than like mainland US. And then I went from Hawaii back to Southern California to the desert, and I spent so I was in Southern California, but up in the desert, high desert area. And now I'm here on the East Coast in Florida. So it's been, bouncing all around. And then from here, who knows where I'm going to go. It's too soon. I'll go
get to the comment there. So plus two has said that I'm not on Facebook. Is it possible to participate without? If you want to, the only problem is I need to check if the Google form can be submitted via email. You can. I'm going to put on is it the banner? That one at the bottom. There is an Asian themed email, which is the
I can put that in.
There. So email is asiandp@gmail.com. If you send us that, we'll send you a Google form back. So at least then you can participate that way. Francis has put, I've started a job at college here in the Arctic of Alaska. I didn't realize that there was colleges in the Arctic of Alaska. I need to get on Google and start researching stuff. That's bad. In the wellness department, I have permission to bring down painting, so I'm going to get enough budget kits to bring them with me. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
In Florida, having unseasonably cold weather.
No, I'm freezing. It cold? Yes, it is so cold. It is so cold.
Is it where you are there in Florida?
Yeah, because I'm in northern Florida. Like today I got up to, let me change it over to Celsius for.
I was gonna say I have my conversion calculator is open.
Yeah, so it's like today was a little bit warmer. It was up to like a 65 Fahrenheit, which is like 18 Celsius, which is too cold for me. But that's been a warm day. That was a warm day. Like our forecast Monday, this is like ungodly cold for me. Monday, it's supposed to be 8 degrees Celsius, and then it'll go up to 11, 7, 11. And this is Florida. So those temperatures are definitely not, and we'll go to Fahrenheit for all of our US people. So that's 47, 44, 51. That's Florida temperatures. It should never be below 60 degrees Fahrenheit in Florida. See, I left those temperatures behind when I left Michigan.
So that's 0 Celsius, right?
0 now,
yes. 32.
So that's about 32 here. Yesterday when I left for work, it was 18 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be, I believe it's something like -4 or 7 Celsius.
I wouldn't be getting out of bed. Well, I can't say that because the other day it was -6 Celsius when I went to work, and it was bitter cold. It was awful.
Now, Kerry is in New Zealand, and she's telling us that 18 degrees has been our summer here, so that's Celsius, and they feel like they've been ripped off for summer. Yet, when you look, 2024 was recorded for the Earth as the hottest year. They just released the statistics, the hottest year ever.
It wasn't in the UK. Our summer lasted 3 days. We had 3 days of sun and warm weather. After that, it rained, and it was miserable.
When I was in the high desert in 29 Palms, we had an awful lot of 120 degree days, which is 48.9 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
Yeah. Right now, like my perfect, like I like 75 to 80 degrees. 75 to 85 is my happy place. So that's usually around like the 24 to 29-ish.
Years ago.
Yeah, 24 to 30 is like my happy place.
Oh my goodness, we got some good stuff in the chat here. Tricia says, I live in Louisiana, which is the southern U.S. It's very much on the most southern part of the eastern section of the country. They are predicted to have 20 degrees Fahrenheit and 3 to 7 inches of snow. And that is very strange in Louisiana. And then if you look up a little bit, we've got Chaotic Crafting with V. Had a snowstorm yesterday. It was minus 35. I believe that, of course, is Fahrenheit. And was shoveling snow after it for 2.5 hours in a hoodie and a toque. And could sure go for some 8 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, it's been an interesting winter so far. We got our home is heated completely with electric, and we got our first electric bill yesterday for the deep cold winter.
That was fun.
Oh, you do not want to know. My thing is like, well, let's see. I could, if I don't pay that electric bill, I could make a big haul from Jaded Gem Shop. It's a Jaded Gem Shop haul, kind of, not even a DAC haul. It's a Jaded Gem Shop haul. What that bill's going to cost for 1 month.
Well, it's like in the desert. Because I'm used to, like my house in Hawaii. I don't have a furnace and I don't have an air conditioner on my house in Hawaii. But you don't need it because it's like I get a beautiful, beautiful cross breeze because I live over on the lush green side of the island is where my house over there is. So you don't need AC and you don't need a furnace. You never need a furnace. Hi, Momo.
It's Mochi.
Yeah, Mochi. She's like, but you can't touch me. I'm going to come up here, but you can't touch me.
They're famous kittens. These are famous kittens. We know them. That's Mochi.
So they are Devon Rexes.
Devon Rexes.
Yep. They are Devon Rexes and all of their resting RBF.
Yes.
Like
Mochi seems to not get in quite as much trouble as Sushi does.
No, Mochi's an angel.
Yes. Sushi was about, I think, 8 or 9 months old last year for the event, and she was in everything, and it looks like she's still the kitten of chaos.
She's still Chaos Demon. Oh my goodness. Still Chaos Demon. And she's 18 months old. Still Chaos Demon.
And they're like, wait till we have our real house. We're just here causing trouble for a temporary stay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how many times I will yell at Sushi to stop dangling from the curtains that are blocking the windows in the RV, or my towel that hangs on the shower back there that has been like savaged. There's like little dangles. I'm like, I'm going to have to toss that towel because it's like, there's little claw dangles all over the towel because Sushi's like, I'm gonna climb this towel, and I'm like, Sushi, get off the towel, because there'll be Sushi. I'm like, if you climb that and get into the shower, you're not getting out. There's no towel on the other side for you to climb back over the shower stall and get out. Come on, move.
Speaking of Sushi, there is a Jade on Jaded Gem Shop came out with a mini kit that is
Sushi's.
Her namesake that is called Sushi, and I have that on the way here
Same
soon.
Here.
Yeah,
Yes.
unfortunately, I'm afraid that may get caught in the Chinese New Year slowdown with production, because I know that her orders are just going out from Black Friday now, so we can wait.
So when was the Chinese New Year shut down for China then?
It depends on so they should be starting to shut down. Let's see, it'll be January 29th. The spring festival should be coming up soon. So spring festival, China. Let's see. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. Because there's usually, it depends on what the specific business is going to be shutting down, because the New Year's on Wednesday the 29th. And then you have the Spring Festival, which is going to be like right then as well. And then you have usually you'll have it's about 23 days for all of the festivities that runs through. So it's about 23 days for those festivities.
The only thing I used to know about Chinese New Year was that in Chinatown in New York City, the one day of the year, our favorite restaurant there called Wohop's is open 364 days a year. They used to be open 24/7. I think they may close now. There's a little slowdown with the pandemic, but They are closed on Lunar New Year. And if you go into the city the next day in Chinatown, you are near ankle to knee deep in firecracker papers.
Ugh, that feels like Hawaii for New
Yeah.
Year's in Hawaii. Like
Yeah.
the regular New Year in Hawaii, all of the fireworks start about a week and a half before New Year and runs through about like 3 or 4 days after New Year's. And once it like about 6 p.m. to about 2 a.m. every night, fireworks are going off. And when I say fireworks, these are not the fireworks that you think of in like the mainland. These are like the fireworks that cities in the mainland put off is what people buy and launch from their driveways.
Interesting. Lee has an interesting comment here. Maybe they will work extra time to get as much as they can before the tariffs hit. That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how the diamond painting world is going to be affected by the tariffs. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will open a factory here.
I don't think it's going to be possible. I think China has kept a very good stranglehold on the manufacturing process for the drills and the canvas, which is why all of the companies are in China, or all of the manufacturers are still in China, because they've kept the manufacturing hold on that.
So they are not letting any of that intellectual property out that would give the technology and what it takes to do it to anybody to do it here.
Yep, which is why you find that every single diamond painting company, regardless of how big or small, has their manufacturers in China, even Diamond Art Club.
Yeah, and they have their own factory now.
Mm-hmm. But it's
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that you can't.
I didn't realize it was still in China, even if it is their own factory.
Yes, it's their own factory, but it's still in China. Yes,
still in China. It's interesting. I wonder how that would work with tariffs. That could be complicated because they own the company. So it's interesting, though, that there's very few videos also about seeing the process done, watching it. Like I've seen a couple of them. About a year ago, I guess I was interested, started looking, and then Diamond Art Club came out with that little clip video that they did.
Yep.
But I would love to see more about that. I just find it kind of fascinating because they'll be one of the things that was so interesting. They're printing the canvases, and you would think, say, they're printing what came out today. Say the Year of the Snake one came out today. You'd think they would print a ton of those all at once, but you see that next to like a Chuck Pinson coming off the presses. It's so strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Year of the Snake one is amazing. I did like that one.
Yes, definitely.
I ordered that. There was another that came out today as well. I'm trying to recall the name of it. Let me go look and see if I can find it real quick. It had 2 snakes on it, a bunch of moon.
It was like the Serpent Moon, I think. Is
right,
what it's called? The Serpent
Moon.
Moon.
I haven't bought any DAX since Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I bought those 2 today. And
I did break down and buy the Year of the Snake one. I did buy that one because that one I remember it from voting, and I voted on it. Yes.
It's quite beautiful anime characters in the voting, and I was like, I hope that they come out because they would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on Sybil art. I have been waiting on Sybil art to come out. Every time her kits come through and her images come through in voting, I'm like, yes. But I'm like, I want Sybil art to come out so bad. She's one of my favorite artists. I have one of her original paintings that I got on auction, and it's beautiful. And
she
I'm like,
is with Crafties, and
yes.
I have tried to go after them as a sponsor, but the only way you can reach out to them is through their website. If anybody knows any other way to get through to Crafties, Facebook message me, email me through the Asian DP along. If anybody's got a contact there, I would love to have them sponsor us. And I definitely want to get some civil art, but I just, I'm hoping DAC carries them, but they don't yet. And every time they come up for voting. So make sure you guys vote on the DAC VIP group or through your email. And, we're all here because we love the Asian art. Yeah.
Yes. Because it's like, I definitely, I'll show you, let me pull up and I'll show you guys the one that's been in voting that I actually have. Put my glasses on so I can see. So what happens when you get older? You start having to wear glasses.
Kat, I see you said you missed the last two votings. I have figured out it tends to be the third weekend of the month and start on Sunday. The only reason I figured that out is I used to have a service commitment where I serve a fellowship, I do some volunteer work, and it was the last 2 years I did something the third Sunday of every month, and I noticed it coincided with DAC's voting. So it's not always, but if you kind of keep an eye on that, it might work out, which would mean they'll probably be voting this weekend. Oh, this is going to kill me.
So this is the one that I have the original of.
Oh, nice. That's gorgeous.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I have the original of that one, and it is stunning. It is so gorgeous.
And did that come from Crafties?
No, this is the that one she hasn't released with Crafties. She hasn't released any new ones with Crafties in quite a while. But so that's the one that's been on. That was in Diamond Art Club's voting on April of 24. So that was in voting back in April.
So encourage your friends, even if they may not be big fans of the Asian art, that do one for us.
Yes, so I make a collage of all of the things that I vote on during the voting, because it's always fascinating to see how many of the things that I vote on actually make it through the voting and go to licensing or actually come out and how long it takes for them to come out.
I'm looking at her art here. Does another company have her?
She used to be with DIY Moon.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And it wasn't until she left after all of DIY Moon. And then over the last, let's see, I'm trying to think of when the first time we saw her art with, I think the first time we saw her art was in April. I think that was the first time was April of 20. No, I think we saw her, it was back in March. No, there was some in February of 24. So it's been almost a year since she's been showing her stuff. So it's been after DIY Moon closed and everything. So it's like, hopefully she's just been on like the queue of everything, because some of her art has to have had to make it through those.
Then the problem is there's so with the DAC votings, they will pick the ones that obviously have got the highest traction.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely,
if you've got a group that likes a certain artwork, surely the one artwork, the artwork trend shouldn't only be to the most favorite. There should be little bits out there, until they put a piece of art out there that doesn't conform to the normal. Mm-hmm. They won't know if people are going to like it.
Yeah.
So let's all spam their support at dac.diamondartclub.com and send in, please start. We've been seeing civil art for many, many months in voting, and we've yet to see anything come out. We would love to see it. We have 220 some people on this group right now that love Asian art. And I'm sure there's others just don't do the Facebook and YouTubes and those things. Mm-hmm. And, when you look at Diamond Dots has had Asian art as long as they've been around. That Dragon Princess is an old canvas.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I like that you have the snake that's come out, but I'm not fussed on the Earth Dragon that's come out, because for me it's not a dragon.
Oh, I gotta go look at that Earth Dragon.
Yeah, that one looked more like a sea serpent than a dragon.
Yeah, it's got no legs or anything.
And it wasn't even like an Asian dragon, it didn't even have that Asian dragon look to me. It looked more like it didn't even have that Asian dragon look. It just made me think of like a fancy Loch Ness monster kind of a thing.
It didn't look like a dragon. It's very Although if you have a little 4-year-old or 7-year-old girl that loves dragons, it's pink, it's purple and pink and blue, and
Mhm.
like my
Yeah.
friend, his little daughter came over that wanted to diamond paint because she found out what it was. She's like 9. She would love that. We got she's a diamond painter now at 9.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, oh, there's Mochi making
Yeah,
another.
she's been sitting right here this entire time. She's sitting on the desk.
So what would you say are your favorite Asian diamond paintings that you've done, Alyssa?
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
it's hard, right? There's so many.
Okay, well, let me go through my completeds. I think probably my favorite completed one was actually a custom one that I did. I think that's my favorite one.
Oh, I think I know which one it is.
Yes, I think that one out of all of them is my favorite one of the Asian ones that I've done. It's called Fierce Foo. It is, let me go back to my photos and I can pull it up. I'm still getting used to my new phone, so it's like it takes me a minute to get the feel for it.
So with customs, how do they work?
So I did my
I
custom through
don't
Jada
understand how.
So if
Yeah.
you have to have permission from the artist to do it if you're doing it from a licensed artist.
Yeah.
So you have to have permission from the artist, and she has a form that you fill in all of the information and send it and attach the photos and the permission. And then you send it to her, and then she'll come back. If you've ever seen, like, I don't know if you've bought from JJ Gem Shop before, but she'll, on her website, you can see the different size renders. She'll give it usually about a week or so after you submit the form. She'll send you back the basically those same size, like example renders. She'll send you back like example render sizes
Yeah.
of your art, so you can get an idea of like, okay, it would look like this at this size point, and you can kind of decide what size you can decide what size you want for your custom.
Yeah.
And then once you decide what size, whether you want it in round versus square, then you do that, and then it's basically I think it was maybe like a week or two longer. It was just it was very short, like 2 weeks longer than the normal turnaround time. I can pull up the exact details, but it was very similar. But this is the completed diamond painting.
Oh wow.
That's the
Is that
completed diamond painting.
I believe you took that picture yourself. Is that correct? Yes. So there was you're the artist.
I'm the artist, so I took that photo myself. Let me go back to my photos and I can show you the original photo because I took the photo, but I actually went in and I edited the photo to give it a like a different look, because just straight as is photos don't really render well as diamond paintings as is, because it's like they're too realistic. So I went in and edited it to give it a little bit of a like the colors don't show up super well on my camera, but basically I edited it to give it kind of like this painted look to it that you can kind of see there, and you can kind of tell that. And then from there, that's what I had turned into a custom. And it turned out beautiful. That one was a 45 by 60 round. So I ordered that one on basically just after Black Friday. It was like November 30th, and I got it on January 17th of last year. So it was a pretty quick turnaround for that one. And then I also
haven't ordered anything from JJ Gem Shop because for me in the UK,
yeah,
I think it's before you've added anything to your cart, it's a £40 straight away, and I'm like, that's a lot of money just for shipping.
Yep.
Without purchasing anything.
Definitely. And she does
get to it one
drop
day.
shipping
the same
for people that are
overseas.
overseas.
Yeah.
You said she does do drop shipping?
If you email her directly, she will do drop shipping for people that are international rather than having to try to pay the shipping options that are on the website. So that's an option that she offers. You just have to email her and she'll give you that option for any of her international folks. But yeah, it's definitely a pricier option, but the canvas and the quality and everything, I love it. And I love the option of getting like the high quality custom to make it exactly what I want. And then I also ordered, and that one was rounds and it turned out fantastic. And I ordered another one. This one is Myanmar monk. That's another one that I did as a custom.
Wow.
Is that, where was that taken? Is that Cambodia?
No, that one is in Myanmar. So that's in Bagan.
Myanmar.
That's in Bagan, Myanmar. The first one, my Fierce Fu, was taken in, that one was taken in Beijing, China. And then the second one was taken in Myanmar. And then I did the third custom that I did was one of my dog, Mylin, who I ended up losing last October. So those were the three customs that I had ordered.
Yeah, I understand. I know just from doing Jada Gem Shop working on, I have several. I've worked on one so far. I know that her quality is amazing. I see she just joined our group, our Facebook group. So that's exciting. We've been, I know she's been swamped because her shipment came in and she's getting orders out. So we've been in touch with her. We're hoping to bring her on as a sponsor as well. So
yes, and my next custom order is actually going to be 3 of my mom's paintings, which are actually Asian paintings. So I'm going to do, this is going to be one of the customs that I get.
Oh
wow!
Gorgeous.
I'm going to put you on solo.
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do, I love pink flamingos, so I'm going to do that painting for my mom of pink flamingos.
That's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to do this one right here.
That one and the first one, they almost look like they're old, like they've got that old masters feel to them.
Yes.
And then that's what she tried to make. And then this one right here as the last one.
The first one and the third one, I would order them.
Yes. So
Amazing.
she tried to do them as very reminiscent of like Chinese brush paintings. She doesn't do Chinese brush painting like I do. She's a Western painter, but she took kind of like those Chinese brush painting elements and implemented some of that like style into her watercolor paintings. And to try to give it that look and that feel. For the landscapes, to do like the Chinese landscapes with that watercolor feel.
I think people would buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she needs to talk to Jade about a licensing agreement. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that would be fantastic. She should totally do that.
Let her know that you've got one customer already over here, 2 counting you.
Yeah.
You've got 2
See, this
customers
is
already.
one of my landscapes.
Yeah.
Oh, that
wow.
is gorgeous. Wow.
That's stunning.
What's the lettering? What's on the side there? What is
that is, I'd have to look up and see what I titled this one, but the first portion of the letters are the title, and then the last 3 are my name. So that's my signature.
Okay.
And then my seal. I'd have to look in one of my, I don't have the book that I wrote these ones in. But I always sign. I do some kind of like little something about what the painting is, and then I sign it and do the seal. But that's one of my favorite ones.
Oh.
But I have a painting that I have to mount it and then frame it and mail it off. But it's actually going to be in a show in Huntington Beach, and that's gonna be this one right here, is going in a show in Huntington Beach.
Oh wow! And when you say show in Huntington Beach, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. So yeah.
When you say a show in Huntington Beach, what do you mean by that?
So it's gonna be in an art show. It's gonna be in a juried art show in Huntington Beach.
That's insane.
Wow.
It's gonna be at the Huntington Beach Art Center. So
that sounds like a very big accomplishment. So well done.
Thank you.
So Huntington Beach, that's Florida, isn't it?
That's over near Los Angeles.
I believe that's like one of the
West Coast
volleyball capital of the world, right? Isn't that where they have all the volleyball tournaments?
I guess.
Yeah. I just know that from years ago when I was out there. I was out in Los Angeles regularly for some of my service commitments. I want to let everybody know, as you guys know who know us, you know Kathy and me. Kathy goes to her Dungeons and Dragons game on Sunday night, and she doesn't drive because she can't see. So I am going to be helping her get ready and getting her over to her D&D game. So I'll be lurking in the background, and I'll jump back on when I return if we are still on. If we're not, Elisa, so good to connect with you here. It's like having you in my living room. I love that. And Sushi and Mochi are here too, although my boys, I don't know how they would feel about two sleepy girls. But I got my two long-haired boys here. And, you know, Adam, of course, thank you so much for what you're doing here. It's just amazing. So I am going to jump out of StreamYard, but I will be in the chat and on Facebook and listening in the background.
Have a good time at D&D.
Thank you. Yes, I will let her know. I'm going to try to get a little bit of dinner on board here. And then if anybody's in Discord or anything later, let me know. All right. I will see you guys.
See you soon.
Have fun. Thank you. It was wonderful meeting you.
Yes. Thank you, Elisa. I feel like I've met you because I've been watching your videos all this time. So great. Take care, everybody. See you in a bit.
So Cindy's put, do you have anything to do with the Huntington Library?
No, this would just be at the Huntington Beach Art Center, which I don't think they're related to the Huntington Library. They might be, but I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Oh dear. All right. If I keep putting faces, it's not towards you. I think I've got myself tennis elbow on my right, which is my primary arm. So every time I bend it, stretch it, or twist it, or try and grab anything, I get shooting pains. Oh, bugger. We are going to have to cut this live short because I have not reset my computer in 8 days, and it's now telling me I have 5 minutes until it happens. So
technology, gotta love it.
I hate it. Right, see if I can snooze it for an hour. Snooze. Hopefully it's done that. Because it's just a nightmare. I've had computers and laptops in the past, and it's never got to the point where I've had to every day it pops up with a thing saying you've not restarted your laptop in this many days. You have to do it now. And you're like, why? It's fine.
That's so silly that it's forcing you to do it. Like, that's so bizarre.
But, if it does kick me off, I apologize to everyone in advance. Hopefully it has snoozed it for a little bit.
No.
But yeah, I've enjoyed watching your videos on YouTube because there's some amazing content that you make.
Thank you.
Like with Eve saying, as soon as we made the event, it was kind of like we wonder how we can sort of like tie you and your event in. So yeah, it's nice.
Definitely. Yes. Well, it's been it's one of those things that I've always been passionate about, and being able to have the opportunity to do it, and then also being able to tie into your event too. I'm glad that you're doing the year-long version of it, because it's wonderful being able to have that opportunity and having that platform to be able to do something all year long. I'm toying with the thought of doing one that's very specific to like anime or like characters, or like video where specific for like anime or video game characters.
Is there companies that sell that art? Because as much as I've seen from like the big companies that I've bought from, I've not seen many like anime characters, and I've been into animes and sort of mangas and stuff like that for most of my life. So
Jada Gem Shop actually carries a lot of fan art for different like video games and She's starting to carry more because as like the consumers are like, oh, we like this artist, and it'll be one that carries fan art. So she's willing to kind of like push the envelope and carry fan art for different like book art and animes and mangas and things like that. And video games. So she definitely does a lot. I'm not too familiar with some of the other shops that might do some of that as well. I know Diamond Artisan Shop also does for like a lot of like Studio Ghibli stuff. I love anything Studio Ghibli. I'm obsessed with Studio Ghibli. So that's one of the big things. Diamond Artisan Shop has a couple different artists that do Studio Ghibli fan art as well. So that's another one that's big on the Ghibli stuff. But Jada Gem Shop has a ton. So that's one of the things that I love about being able to shop there.
I was going to say, if it just cut me off, did you want me to set up a new live and invite you back in?
That's up to you if you want to do that. If you feel like we
I'm
keep
enjoying
going.
talking to you.
Yeah, it's completely up to you if you want to keep going. I'm good either way.
Well, if it just cut me off, which it might do very soon, I will set up a new live.
Okay.
On StreamYard, and I will invite you over as soon as I can, because I think it just told me I've got a 2-minute warning. Even though I tried to snooze it, it's not worked.
It didn't accept your snoozing.
No, it's not. It's not allowing me to do anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream now and restart, and I will be back as soon as I can without the technical difficulties.
Sounds like
Thank you everyone for joining in the comments. I will see you in the next one, which will be in about 3-4 minutes. See you soon. I will not forget the link.